YouTube. What's going on, all you diecast enthusiasts, collectors, whatever you want to call yourself? Okay, so I have here on the layout an assortment of premium detailed Toyotas. I probably should have waited to do this until after this weekend, but that's okay. Let's get started. Trying to decide, should I do this by diecast brand or should I do it by model? Well, let's just get into it. All of these cars have been seen on the channel at some point or another, although some of these have not been seen for quite a long time. This is a Kyosho Toyota Altezza. It is a car that was not commercially available in the US by that name, but it was available in the US as a Lexus IS 350 or 300. IS 300 or 350, I don't know which one. But it was the Lexus IS. It's a nice little car. These Altezzas are relatively difficult to find. You can find them on eBay. They are kind of pricey. I don't know what the correlation is with the price and the availability of the cars. It was available in a couple other colors. But my choices was this color or silver, and while silver would definitely show up better on the camera, the blue definitely looks better on display. So there is that Toyota Altezza. I'm going to start with like the miscellaneous models that I only have like one. This is a Toyota MR2 Spider. I wish that Kyosho or Konami or TLV would do a first generation and second generation Toyota MR2. Of all the MR2s, this is my least favorite body style. But Kyosho does a pretty decent job replicating the model. Cool little car there. What other one-offs do I have? I guess I have quite a few. This one here, this is a super nice casting. This is a Toyota, well, it's a Tomica limited vintage Toyota Century, and it's just a beautiful piece. It's a massive car. It's about the size of an Auto World or a Greenlight Crown Vic or something like that. It's a big car, especially by Auto World standards or Tomica standards. But you can see it has a ton of detail, prototypical wheels. All of these cars here have rubber tires. Most of them have lensed headlights and taillights. Very cool car. I like this one. I like all of these actually, but this one is certainly a nice little car. Some other one-off cars that I have. This one here, I don't know who the manufacturer is on this. It is not Kyosho. It is not Konami. I honestly don't know. It seems to me like this is like a promotional car, maybe like a dealer promo or something like that. is a well done car though. Nice wheels. Really nice proportions, nice stance, nice detail. Not quite Kyosho nice. Definitely a sharp looking car though. So that's the Toyota 86. It is known in the US as the Scion FRS or the Subaru BRZ. Another one-off casting that I have here. I love this one. This is one of my favorite Kyosho Toyotas. This is the Corolla AE86. This one is pretty expensive. It came in a 3-car Toyota 86 set with basically the new Toyota 86 and then 2 of the old ones like this. And the 3-car set, if you can find it now, I think it's around $80. I have since traded or sold the other 2 models, but this was the one that I decided to keep. Very realistic model. And just look at those wheels. The detail on that is just unbelievable for the size of the car. So that one's pretty awesome. Some of the models that you guys have seen probably enough times. These Johnny Lightnings are nice enough for me that I put them in the detailed Toyota section. I won't put Hot Wheels or Matchbox in this collection. Even the adult collectible ones that have the headlights and taillights and rubber tires, they just don't get displayed with this type of stuff. This is just a Johnny. Awesome tooling. I'm so glad that they are putting a bunch of these out. I know it'll probably devalue the older ones, but at least it allows us to get a nice assortment of them. Now both of these are wheel swapped, but I like both of these wheels better than the stock wheels that came on these trucks. So, a couple of awesome Land Cruisers. I have a couple other Land Cruisers. This one here, made by Tomica Limited Vintage. Very nice model. I would like to get my hands on a civilian model. Lens headlights and lensed tail lights. A lot of painted detail. These are scaled accurately. They're proportioned accurately. Never have stance issues with these cars. So that's a cool Land Cruiser. And then the other Land Cruiser that I have is a Kyosho. It's a newer Land Cruiser, but it's no less awesome. Although, you know, I would personally prefer to have basically anything from like 85 to 99. I like that the evolution of those body styles better than the ones that have come out since then. But it's still a nice Toyota. It's an awesome Toyota, and I'm definitely glad to have it. Although I've thought about picking up another one in a different color, but who knows. So that's it for the Land Cruisers. A car that is kind of has a Land Cruiser lineage to it is the FJ. Now Tomica does an FJ in their basic line, and it's a pretty awful casting. I think it might be slightly better than like a Hot Wheels mainline, but you know, I think that Tomica and this Kyosho are the only FJ Land Cruisers that are out. I don't think any other brand does it. It would be a great casting for Matchbox to do. But it's an awesome off-road vehicle. I'm strongly considering getting myself one of these as my next vehicle. So that's the FJ. Oh man, whole bunch of cool cars to show you. I'll start with some of the Toyota Carinas with this Konami. I don't remember if this is a 16. Yeah. This is a 1600 GT. Really cool little car. Nice little two-door. Konami did the two-door. TLV might have done a two-door. I don't know, but I have a couple of them as four doors. Like this Mark II 1900 Carina. We can see that the Tomica Limited Vintage is definitely nicer than the Konami. I like the lines on this car. It would look great slammed. So there's that one. And then this one here, I think, this one doesn't say, but I think it might be another 1600. This is another Tomica Limited Vintage. I have a total of 4 Carinas. Two of them are TLV, one of them is Konami. And then the other one is the next one I'll show you. I totally dig these wheels. They have a ton of detail. And then the last Carina, which is probably most people's favorite, I would say. I get a lot of positive feedback on this car. It's made by Aoshima, and it is a nice looking car. It's got a great stance. Not too overdone with all the customization like a lot of the Aoshimas are. Got a sick little stance. Lensed headlights and taillights. Oh, they're not showing up too well, but really cool little car there. That is the only Aoshima in this collection. Here's an interesting little Toyota from Kyosho. This is a Sports 800. This is from the Meko Dock set, which is one of the best sets that Kyosho ever did, in my opinion. Some excellent castings in that set. There's a 240Z, there's a Toyota 2000 GT, there's the Sports 800, there's a Ken Mary Skyline, there's a Celica, and a Honda CRX. Really good set to get. But this is an awesome little Toyota. Unique looking little car, but definitely a cool little car to add. And then this thing here, this is one of the newer ones that I have. This, what kind of car is this? This is a Crown Custom Van. This thing is crazy. Big old station wagon. It does have suspension. Really smooth, nice, quiet roller. It's got that awesome avocado green color that was so popular back in the 70s. Really cool station wagon here. And this also was available in silver, but who wants silver when you can have this color? From what I've been told, this color is selling quite a bit more, so it might be a little bit harder to find this color. Kind of like with the Civic, the white one is selling more. But really cool Toyota Crown station wagon. Let's see, what am I missing? Oh. This one here from Konami, Toyota 2000 GT. Now, this is one of the rare cases where I think the Konami is as nice as the Kyosho. Maybe even nicer. I don't know. But I don't have the Kyosho to show you, but I have had it. I've had that casting before, and they're both really nice, but I think I'd give Konami the edge on this one. This thing here, this is the most expensive car of all of these. Also the most difficult to find by a long shot. This is the Toyota Starlet, made by Konami. It's probably a $50 to $60 car. Sometimes it sells upwards of $100. But I think if you looked hard enough, you could find it for $50 to $60. Really cool little car, though. Alright, so that's all the cars except for the Celicas. So I'm going to go in order of body style. So of the body styles that I have, this is the first to come out here. This is a Konami. I meant to grab another one of these. I know a guy that has one, and I know this is, I get a lot of inquiries on this car. A lot of people asking me if I'm interested in trading or selling it. Can't blame people for wanting it. It is just an awesome little car. I love it. And then the next one is probably a nicer casting, I think. And this is a 76 or a 77 Toyota Celica GT. Really, really clean casting. This might be one of Konami's best castings that they ever did. The wheels are just so ridiculously nice. And the car itself it came out beautiful. It's got a really nice greenhouse, which that's a Toyota thing, that's not a Konami thing, but Konami does a really nice job replicating it. I don't know, I really like this car. I like all the Konamis are probably my favorite of all of these, even more so than the Tomica Limited Vintage. Because they did a lot of nice cars. I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of these. So almost a fourth of these are Konami. There's your lens tail lights, which the other one also had. I don't know if I showed them, but... So there's that one. And out of this next one, I don't know which one of these two came out first. I think it was this one, but I could be wrong. But this is from Tomica Limited Vintage. All of these Celicas were available here in the U.S. In fact, I think this first generation Celica is the car that that broke Toyota into the U.S. market. It was the first car, I think, that they made that was built for the American superhighway. And I think its big competitor was the Ford Mustang. Or at least in the eyes of Toyota. That was the car that they were looking to sell it against, or to market it against. That's really cool. And then this one here, like I said, between that one and this one, I don't know which one came first. This is a Kyosho, and it is not stock. It's a custom. You know, there is some customizing going on with the paint job on the aftermarket wheels, but it's a beautiful casting. Kyosho does. You can get this with a stock livery, but they're hard to find, and they're expensive. I think it's like, you know, a $40 or $50 car with the civilian livery. I think this one is probably a little bit less. This is also from the Meko Doc set. This is the Celica from that set. Meko Doc, if you're wondering, it stands for Mechanical Doctor. It was a 6-car. It's a Japanese anima. And Kyosho did a 6-car release for that. This thing is just awesome. I love it. Awesome detail in this little casting. And then the last Celica, this one is a Konami. Cars of the 80s. Funny because they call it Cars of the 80s, but I think that if I'm not mistaken, this is a 1990, I thought. I don't know. I don't know the year, but it's a really cool little car. There's some really nice detail on this car. There's the lens tail lights. prototypical wheels. So, anyways, that is the video. As I've mentioned many times this week, got the annual toy show this weekend. It is the largest toy show in the Southwest. I am very much looking forward to going. I'm sure that I will find some good content for videos. Wow, there really is quite a few of these. It is a Toyota table. Alright, now, obviously the Nissans are more popular. Everybody loves the Nissans. And there's a lot more Nissan diecast out there in this scale to be had. I don't particularly collect the Nissans, but I have more of them than I do the Toyotas. So I definitely do collect them. But with Toyota, I specifically seek out vintage Toyotas. So there will be a Nissan video coming at some point soon as well. It'll probably be more in-depth than this one just because there's so much more of it. But here you go. Some vintage premium detailed Toyotas. Feel free to comment below. You all have a great weekend. I might do a quick upload from the toy show just to show you guys what I'm dealing with. Maybe I'll try a YouTube live. I've never done that, so we'll see what happens. But other than that, I'll holler at you guys at the next video. Should be a good one. Have a good weekend.